Something that shows up in our lives, whether we realize it or not, is permission, is approval, is validation. It shows up at an early age, right? When you're in school and you have a field trip coming up, you need to bring home that piece of paper to get your parent or guardian to sign so you can go. You literally raise your hand so you can go to the bathroom. You also ask for permission in other ways, whether you realize it or not at the time, right? Maybe you show up somewhere early and you're like the only one there, you're kind of looking around, and then someone else walks in first, and then you breathe a sigh of relief and you can go too, right? Or maybe you've had that absolutely killer outfit that you've been wanting to strut, but you're nervous about putting yourself out there like that. So you wait and wait until finally that trend catches on, everyone else is doing it, and then thank gosh you finally have permission to do so yourself. You finally have permission to be yourself. And that's so interesting to me because before any of this, right? Before, I guess, I don't know, when you got into school or whatever, when you were finally old enough where you needed to start learning about what it's like to be a proper human in society, you had no conception of what the hell permission was, right? Like when you're an infant or a toddler, you're just you're just letting it rip, right? Like you want something, you kick and scream or you go get it. You want to do something, you go run off without any sort of hesitation, without any sort of notion of whether that is appropriate or not, because the only person whose approval, whose opinion, whose good time matters is your own. But as we get older, right, as we sort of progress into society and we have to start training ourselves or really start molding ourselves to fit in, that's when we start seeking approval. That's when we start looking for permission everywhere from everyone. And this bleeds over into so many other areas of your life, even outside of being a student, bleeds over into your own ability to live your truest life, to pursue your dreams, whatever they may be, right? You are always just looking elsewhere, externally, when at the end of the day, all you really need to do is look inward to get that permission, that approval, that acceptance from yourself, right? Because no one is going to pick up and move across the world but you. No one is going to quit your job so you can pursue your dream but you. No one is going to leave that unhealthy relationship but you, right? Whether you get permission from other people or not is entirely irrelevant. The common denominator in all of those situations is you. Once you give yourself permission to just be yourself, the world absolutely opens up to you because no longer are you trying to constrain yourself in to conform to mold to the masses to be able to garner their acceptance, to be a proper standing and appropriate citizen, because none of that matters, right? None of that matters because our truest self is the one who doesn't have any conception of this. Our truest self is when we were a kid, just running around, playing, doing what we wanted, saying what we wanted, while being obviously to be a little bit respectful. Obviously, don't be an asshole, but just being free, right? Just giving yourself permission to be free, which when you say that out loud, do you really need permission to be free? I feel like that literally goes against what it means to be free in the first place, right? And again, I say this as someone who I'm not great at this either. Even as I've, you know, thank gosh, after 20 plus years, started to give myself the permission, the approval, the acceptance, the validation, what have you, to be my truest self, to pursue what it is that I want out of life, I still struggle at times. I still find myself wanting to get permission to do certain things, right? Like when it comes to making YouTube videos, a common thing is you do market research first, right? You look and see if there is any other, well-performing videos in that niche or that topic, and then you're like, thank gosh, someone did that. I've got the stamp of approval to try it out myself. Well, I don't really care. I don't care. I don't care because I don't really care about numbers or metrics, views, subscribers, monetization, any of that. And that's what might be, what a lot of other people care about, what they're focused on, but not me. So if that's the case, then I really shouldn't give a damn about doing this, right? About experimenting with this 100-day challenge, with posting videos that don't have some outlandish thumbnail just to get someone to click on the video, without hooking the viewer in the first 30 seconds, or having some random ass B-roll just to have B-roll. Like, at the end of the day, I just care about talking and connecting with you. That's what I care about. And at the end of the day, maybe there's a place for it on YouTube, maybe there isn't. I have no idea, but I'm giving myself permission to explore, to experiment, to try things out, because at the end of the day, that's the only person who I need it from. I'm the only person who is going to sit out on his fire escape and record a video, publish it, and just see what happens. So, all to say, I seriously hope that you take this to heart too, right? That in whatever area of your life that you find yourself in friction with, you give yourself permission to go the other way, right? To start doing what it is that you care about, to start being yourself. And if other people have a problem with that, then honestly, that's great, because those are the exact kind of people who can really learn from the example you're setting, from you giving yourself permission. You inevitably show other people how to give permission to themselves. So hopefully you take up the mantle, and starting now, you give yourself permission to just be yourself.